Hello everyone. No, I did not just build this in my own world, and I did not just switch my texture pack, as I promised. This is another tour of the multiplayer server, which I featured in episode 8, Naval Travel. You can remember last time I kind of broke out of character because a couple of chickens were completely freaking out. Well, a lot of those bugs have been fixed, but I still do not intend to do this in any role-playing kind of way. I just want to tour around and check out the Citadel and other cool projects on the server. I'll put the server name in the description for this video, and you can tour around just like me, but do note that you will not get build rights here whatsoever. Unless you have someone to vouch for you and you are Dutch, you will not be able to get any building rights. Now this was all really constructed with the Painterly pack in mind, which is why I use this texture pack. It makes everything look a bit nicer, and it just really does all the constructions justice. Like this is the cathedral, which I have shown in a previous episode, but you can see how much nicer it actually looks with these textures. It's really quite a lot better. But onwards to new stuff and better stuff, like the whole square in front of the cathedral is quite improved. There's my building buddy Hjalmar. And he's in a monk robe because he's building an awesome monastery. So let's go here. Now, as you can see, this is pretty much a big expanded version of what I showed previously. It is a lot nicer. Same ship is here. However, you should really see the harbor. It's completely insane. This is really now an intricate network of little roads, which are all interconnected. Awesome little places like the smithy here and the ship wharf, and all sorts of really cool warehouses and little buildings. Of course, this wasn't just the work of me and Hjalmar. It's a bunch of people, most notably a guy called Gravitone, who pioneered this whole project. A lot of people contributed to this, and a lot of materials went into this. I may remind you that everything you see here was hand-mined. Nothing was spawned or anything like that. We melted our own cobblestone, we planted all our own stuff, and that was a little glitch right there. And this was all just built by hand and hard work. There's the awesome boat, which is built by only me and Hjalmar. And that's the Citadel's walls. As you can see them, that's a really tall construction by Gravitone. The part you see there with all the holes and the sort of cobblestone tower, that is actually not part of the project. That's just some unrelated thing someone decided to build right there, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the ship wharf, and as you can see, it's been expanded a little bit. There's walls right there, and if you go up here, you can see what's become of the marketplace I showed last time. As you can see, it's been interconnected with all sorts of little roads. It's absolutely beautiful. We cleaned up all the pumpkins because there were dozens and dozens of pumpkins on this little plane here, and yeah, it's pretty good. Let's walk up here to get a nice bird's eye view of it all. This is a really nice town square. This big building, funny story, I actually started building sort of an unique medieval style building here, but in the end we decided it was just complete shit, so we tore it all down and built something better. Hjalmar came up with the design of this one, and it's a very nice big warehouse guild hall sort of thing. Here's the library, which Hjalmar is going to show me. There's this awesome bridge in the middle. Let's go upstairs. Now that is beautiful. If I were to show this with standard textures, you'd just see really ugly cobblestone walls. But now you can see this is actually a really awesome library. Again, all built and mined by hand. And this awesome little pattern on the floor. There's sort of a theme in this region of the Citadel. There's 4 patterns on all the buildings. Really awesome stuff. There's no exit here though, so better head out. It's also pretty surprising how much better glass actually looks with the painterly pack. Like, this actually looks like a window with like LED frames instead of the sort of strange brighty glass that's used in the default texture pack. Now I will remain using the I will keep using the default texture pack in single player videos because as I mentioned, this is a very personal thing. A lot of people really dislike looking at Minecraft with completely different texture packs, and I can appreciate that. It does give it a completely different feeling and aesthetic, but this was really creative with this aesthetic in mind. I think this is the sawmill done by someone else. Is that right? Yeah. This is pretty awesome. We did not actually build this, but it fits in nicely here between, that's the cathedral over there. You can see the top sort of pointing out over the trees. There's a big national park, and there's a big windmill. It wouldn't be a Dutch server without a huge windmill. That one's right there. Could we easily go to the monastery from here? I guess so. No, we don't mind a little walk. So yeah, there's still a lot of construction going on this server, and you know, Citadel is only really scratching the surface. There's a ton of other projects which are not at all medieval themed, and there's not a lot of, say, actual survival style gameplay going on. It's more of a building server, but it's still all mined by hand. And there's huge projects here. I'll be showing some more in video, but showing the Citadel in all its expensive glory, like, oh, this awesome actual drawbridge is something that's really worth it. Now that is awesome. This is a newer part of the Citadel, which I actually was no part of. I was completely offline while this was all built. And this is a new, very ambitious project by Graviton, the founder of the Citadel project. You can see this warehouse is a very, very cool, old Trademaster style building. A very, very classy use of some nether materials, which are now finally allowed in the server. Disregard the glitches on the horizon. Yeah, this is very, very awesome. Very detailed interiors, just a lot of work that went into this, and it looks very sharp. This is not the monastery, which I was mentioning, by the way. This is just a different, unrelated project. Never mind all those glitches on the horizon. That's unrelated. Okay, let me just boost my gamma a little bit. Okay, I didn't really want to boost the gamma and show it at night. It's much better to actually show it during the daytime, even though the sun is setting right now. This is some new additions to the Citadel. That's a small village right there, and here Hjalmar is working on a monastery, which is looking really sharp. There's an awesome garden in the middle here. He's actually making hedges and everything. It looks really cool. He's got the whole architecture thing down. It looks absolutely stunning. Still very much under construction, by the way, but it's really coming along quite well. And that's the Victorian Era new construction, which is currently underway. So yeah, that's the Citadel update so far. Alright, time for a quick tour of the Victorian Era area, which is under construction. Helpful Monk is going to guide me around and can actually open this awesome fence for me. So let's go inside. That is awesome. Okay, time for a little tour. So as you can see, it's really mostly facades and stuff that's under construction right now, but it's some very, very impressive architectural work being done here. Again, by the same guys who were working on Citadel. So this is really some high-grade construction right here. Yeah, this is really awesome stuff. There's a lot of space reserved for this project, and I expect them to be busy for quite a while still. But man, does it look impressive. Now this right here are two things I didn't show in the last tour. That little guy you see down there is actually the size of one player, and this is an Arc de Triomphe. So that is one big fucking arch. Again, it looks much better with the painterly pack. I'm actually amazed at how much nicer this looks with painterly on. But yeah, this is some very impressive stuff. you can see the insides of it. It's really quite huge. Oh, and by the way, there's a little different, small other building located just about right beside it, and that's pretty impressive as well. This one has been around for quite a long time. It was under construction when I first joined the server, which I think was about half a year ago, perhaps a bit longer. And again, this also took a lot of resources to build. It's kind of dark in here, but very impressive. Now we go from a very, very big arc to a somewhat smaller one, but not a less epic project. As you can see here, this is a big square. There is a soldier with an awesome wreath of laurel resting on his head and a torch in his hand. And this, my friends, this is the Coliseum. I think my sources told me that this was also intended to be possibly used for PvP matches. So as I mentioned, this is really a building server, but you know, we're not opposed to the idea of cool PvP gameplay. And this is quite the place to do just that thing. It looks incredibly impressive. And just to fill up all of my screen, it's not completely finished yet, but I'm probably not alone in saying that I think this is really impressive. What a huge, huge place. You may be wondering why I am looking at this tree over here, but that is because the tree is right next to this enormous replica of the Hindenburg Zeppelin. That is awesome if I've ever seen it. There's an actual terminal here, and this thing, completely wired up with redstone to have like nice red blinking lights on it, is absolutely one of the coolest things on the whole server. It's new. It's been constructed by a guy with a sheep farm. As I said, all materials are legitimately mined. To help a little bit with this, he did get a sheep spawner. You know, fair disclosure on that, but just look at this and tell me that was not worth it. It actually has an interior with rooms and everything. Just gonna check inside now. It may lag a bit due to the use of redstone, but don't mind that. There's even a view. You can look outside. Now, this is actually so completely awesome that I have some difficulties actually putting this in words. This is the inside, which looks absolutely stunning. You can see there's some blinking red lights up there. This left me speechless the first time I saw it. It's just absolutely brilliant. Also, it has an actual McDonald's. Our favorite dish, which is served here next to the huge Zeppelin, is the Hindenburger. Okay, we're here in Snowville, the next thing we're going to see, and oh my god. Yeah, I've got this stick with me in case this monk wants to get friendly. Jesus. Fucking monks. Anyway, this is Snowville. It's really awesome. Built by a few other people on the server. Very impressive stuff. And someone here called The Pet makes these absolutely stunning mansions. Like these with balconies and little wooden details and everything. Now, I won't go into too much detail because I only have limited time, but this guy is quite something. If you go to the server, you have to check out Snowville for this reason alone. Of course, that's the ski-free monster. Some of you may have fond memories of that game. I sure do. I'm not a big fan of pixel art, but that is okay. This is another one of his mansions. It's very impressive. Oh, this is actually not one of his mansions, but still very impressive. And of course, to end this tour, my companion cube, which has been progressing. There's a lot of interest, as you can see. There's some players walking around here. And we're trying to fill the hearts, see how that looks with some hellstone. Let me go to the top of the cube. And you can see not much has changed on the inside, but the outside is definitely a lot cooler. It looks quite a bit different with these textures. A bit less metallic. Still quite good looking, and still very proud of this project. Also built by my fellow crazy monk dude who's sitting down there and probably needs another good slapping with this stick. He did a lot of work on this, and I couldn't have done it without him. So that was great work by him. This looks absolutely awesome. It's like a big, dark, evil version of the cube. And what better to have that and the crazy monk running after me with a stick. Oh my god. Let's run. That's the end of this episode. I will keep updating this regularly. and I'll see you guys again soon.